Imagine this. You're standing on an ancient battlefield. The air is thick, that kind of electric silence right before everything erupts. Today, we're really going to dive deep into a moment just like that. We're using some fascinating excerpts from Bhishma's roar and the battlefield's tumult. Our goal here is to sort of pull back the curtain for you. We want to explore not just the events, but the strategic thinking behind them, the psychological weight, and just the sheer sound and feel of it all. Okay, so let's unpack this. The very first verse gives this incredibly specific instruction. It says something like, all of you, positioned at your respective places, at the entrances of the formation, give full support to Bhishma alone and protect him. What hits you first about that? Focusing everything on just one guy, Bhishma.
Well, it's striking, isn't it? Because, your first thought might be, why put all the eggs in one basket, so to speak? But this isn't really about Bhishma being vulnerable. It's a huge declaration of his strategic importance. He's not just a leader. He's clearly the linchpin, the absolute center of gravity for their entire force. This command basically maps out their power structure right there. He's the key asset, maybe the key target too. So protecting him isn't just tactical. It defines their whole approach, their hierarchy. It says everything.
That's a really good point. I think, the instinct is to see protection as a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
But you're framing it as the opposite. It actually highlights just how indispensable he is.
Exactly. In this kind of warfare, identifying and, fiercely guarding your most crucial piece was absolutely paramount. It underlines their value, but it also signals, to everyone, their own troops and the enemy who holds the real strategic weight.
Okay, and then Bhishma's reaction to this command. It's something else.
Yeah.
The text describes him as the grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the glorious Bhishma, and then he immediately roared like a lion, and then he blew his conch loudly. That imagery, that lion's roar.
Yeah.
What's that really conveying? It's more than just noise, surely.
Oh, absolutely. It's packed with meaning.
Yeah.
Roaring like a lion, that's primal. It's about asserting strength, dominance, sheer presence. It's a challenge. It's designed to intimidate, no question. But then the conch adds this whole other layer. See, in ancient battles, the conch wasn't just go. It was a serious psychological tool, a declaration, a rallying cry. And the text explicitly tells us the immediate effect. It filled Duryodhana with joy. So this one powerful sound, this roar and blast from him, this revered figure, it instantly boosts morale on his side. And just as importantly, it sends a chilling, unambiguous message across the field to the opposition. It's pure leadership, distilled into sound.
Right. So it's not just a signal to start. It's almost like a physical projection of his authority and their whole army's resolve.
Right.
You can almost feel it, can't you?
Absolutely. It's meant to be felt, physically felt, cutting through the tension and the potential chaos of that moment. Utterly commanding.
But then, what happens next? The ripple effect is just incredible. The moment Bhishma's conch sounds, the third verse says, suddenly, conch shells, kettle drums, tabors, trumpets, and cow horns were all sounded at once. And the result, the sound became a tumultuous uproar. It's not just loud, it's like a sonic tidal wave.
Precisely. And think about that, not just one type of sound, but this whole orchestra of war erupting simultaneously. It's almost like an ancient sonic weapon, really.
Right.
A multi-layered assault on the enemy's senses. The sheer variety, you've got the piercing sounds, the booming drums, the more guttural horns. It wasn't just about volume. It seems deliberately designed to disorient, to overwhelm, to create this feeling of chaotic, unified, unstoppable force. If you were on the receiving end, my goodness, it wouldn't just be loud, it'd be confusing, maybe even terrifying. It's psychological warfare, pure and simple.
Wow. I can only imagine. Just thinking about it makes my ears ring a bit. You'd be completely swamped by it, trying to figure out where anything specific was coming from. It reminds me strangely of like a modern stadium roar, but weaponized, amplified with instruments built for impact.
Exactly. It's about shattering their focus, instilling that seed of doubt or fear, and just asserting complete dominance before the real fighting even begins.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second. Looking at this whole sequence, what does this deep dive really show us? We went from the super focused command to one individual's really powerful symbolic act, and then this massive coordinated explosion of sound. It feels like a whole story of strategic intent and execution in just a few lines.
It really does. And it highlights some key takeaways for you, I think. First, just how critical it is in any high-stakes situation, really, to protect your central figures, your linchpins. Second, the immense power of leadership that's shown, not just spoken. Those symbolic, visceral acts, they resonate so deeply. And finally, maybe something we don't think about enough is how sophisticated sound was used, not just for signals, but as a potent tool in communication and, crucially, psychological warfare.
That makes me think, today,
So much of our communication is quiet, it's digital, it's often very private. What can we actually learn from these raw, physical, very public displays of power and intention from way back then?
It's a great question, isn't it? It makes you reflect on how those ancient, overwhelming expressions of unified might, that sheer physical wall of sound, compared to how we show force or collective will today. We still try to project strength and unity, of course, but often in very different, maybe sometimes less direct ways. It's interesting to consider how sound and collective action still play a role, even now.